If you're just starting out with your first investments, you should begin by thinking about your goal and your time horizon. Are you investing for 3 years, for 10 years, or for longer? Shorter horizons tend to suit lower risk portfolios, and longer horizons can usually tolerate more ups and downs. Next, choose a core. Many investors use a broad global equity ETF which contains hundreds or thousands of companies, plus a bond ETF for stability, as they typically have lower volatility than stocks. The split between your equities and your bonds is called your asset allocation, and it's the biggest driver of a portfolio's risk and return. Allocations like a 60-40 or an 80-20 split are common examples, but you can use a risk questionnaire or guidance to find a mix that suits you. Then, when choosing your ETFs, there are a few things you should look out for. Diversification. Make sure the ETFs you choose spread your money across lots of different companies, sectors, and countries. Costs. Look at the ongoing charge and any platform fees. Lower costs mean you keep more of any returns, but make sure that the fund still fits your plan. Fund size. Bigger funds are often easier and cheaper to trade. It's not a guarantee, but larger size can help keep your trading costs down. The index of the ETF tracks. Check the index name and what it includes or excludes, and make sure it fits with your goals. Passive versus active. Passive ETFs aim to copy an index. They're usually cheaper and aim to stay close to the index that they're tracking. Active ETFs let a manager pick and choose. They cost slightly more and can perform differently, either better or worse than the market. Income choice. Accumulating share classes automatically reinvest any dividends to keep your investment growing. Distributing share classes, on the other hand, pay out any dividends as cash. Currency. Some ETFs hedge currency moves, which means they aim to reduce the effect of exchange rate movements. Hedging can help or hurt depending on the value of the pound, and it adds a small cost. Once you've decided on your asset allocation and your ETFs, you could also consider pound cost averaging, which means investing a set amount every month. This spreads your purchases over time, so you're not relying on perfect timing. Finally, you can set a reminder to review your portfolio occasionally, for example once or twice a year, and avoid frequent tinkering. Markets will move up and down, but your plan should stay steady unless your goals or your circumstances change. Overall, the idea is to start simple, stay diversified, keep costs low, and stick to your plan.